taking some time now to settle the body. Ensure that you're sitting in a comfortable position, whether that you're sitting cross-legged on the floor or sitting up in a chair. Make sure the spine is straight and the head and neck are in alignment. Place the hands on the knees in a mudra of your choice. Closing the eyes. Take a long, deep inhalation. And as you exhale, release all the events of the day. Take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, when you exhale, release all of the interactions that you've had today, whether they have been in person, on the phone, or even in a digital space. Just let any thoughts about these interactions go. Let them go with your exhalation. And now take another long, deep inhalation. And this time, when you exhale, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation, of any duties you feel that you have after this class, and give yourself the gift of being right here in this present moment. There is nothing else that you need to do right at this moment. And bring the awareness now up through the feet, paying careful attention to how each part of your body feels at this moment. Bringing the awareness up through the soles of the feet, up through into the ankles, now into the shins and into the calves, into the knees, up through the thighs and the buttocks, into the hips, and up through the torso, bringing the awareness into the spine and into each vertebrae as the awareness reaches up to the neck and up through the hands and the fingers, into the wrists and up through the arms. Bringing the awareness now to the face and the back of the head. Bringing the awareness now into the forehead, into the space between the eyebrows. Placing the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this space, visualize a steady candle flame. Together now, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti. Begin the practice of Ajapa Japa, followed by Yoga Nidra. Breathing in. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari. And now, in the same position, bring the awareness to the breath, to the natural breath, and observe how the natural breath moves between the navel and the throat on the inhalation, and from the throat to the navel on the exhalation. Observe the natural breath as it moves between the throat and the navel and the throat. And to make it easier to follow the breath, visualize the breath as though it is a golden pathway. The golden pathway reaches from the navel to the throat on the inhalation, and from the throat to the navel on the exhalation. Follow the golden pathway along with the natural breath. And now, to add a third component to the breath awareness and the golden pathway, mentally repeat the mantra so on the inhalation and hum on the exhalation. So hum. So I am this consciousness. And now you have the three components of Ajapa Japa: breath awareness, golden pathway, and the mantra. So hum. And now, release the mantra. And release the golden pathway. And release the breath awareness. And move your awareness now to the heart space. So with your complete attention now that you have achieved complete stillness. And now begin to feel the breath in the body and allow the breath to deepen just a little. And notice how the breath creates movement in the body. We will transition now very gently and mindfully to lying down on the floor in Shavasana to prepare for the practice of Yoga Nidra. We're keeping the eyes closed or downcast, moving very slowly and gradually to avoid forcing the body to externalize. Maintain that stillness you've created. Lying down on the back, ensuring that you have enough covering to be warm enough so that you don't need to move throughout the practice. You may need a cushion to put under your knees to avoid any strain on the back. Lying down with the palms facing the sky, the legs about hip width apart. Release any tension in the legs. Allow the feet to roll to the sides. Ensure there's balance between the right side of the body and the left side of the body. Ensure your head and neck are aligned. You may gently like to tuck your chin in just a little to ensure that there is alignment. And take a long, deep inhalation now. And as you exhale, allow your body to melt into the floor, releasing any tension that's left in the muscles of the body. Take another long, deep yogic breath in. And this time, as you exhale, ensure that there isn't any remaining tension in the face. Lose all expression from the face. Ensure that you're not clenching your jaw or that you're not clenching the muscles behind the eyes. Just let any tension in the face and the rest of the body go. And return to the natural breath. And feel the contact between the body and the floor, beginning with the heels and the floor, with the backs of the legs against the floor. Feel the buttocks against the floor. Feel the back and the spine against the floor. Feel the backs of the arms and the hands against the floor. And feel the shoulders and the back of the neck against the floor. And now feel the back of the head against the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact create one united, singular point of contact between the body and the floor. Become aware now of sound. Listen for sound far off in the distance. Avoid naming the sound or identifying the sound. Just move your awareness gently from sound to sound. Now move your awareness to sounds just outside the room that you are in. Again, just gently moving the awareness from sound to sound. Move the awareness now to sounds just inside of the room where you are. And again, not identifying the sound, just moving the awareness from sound to sound. And now, moving the awareness to sounds inside the body, beginning with the sound and sensation of the heartbeat. And now moving the awareness to the sound and sensation to the natural breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa, or positive intention if you have one. Sankalpa is usually a short phrase of something that you would like to achieve. It's best said, they say, as though you have already achieved it. If you have a Sankalpa, please mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space for it may emerge on its own. We'll now rotate the awareness around the body. Listen to my instructions, and when I repeat the name of a body part, place your awareness there. Mentally repeat the name of that part and visualize that body part. You don't need to move in any way. We'll begin with the right side of the body and the right hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third and little finger, palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, the armpit, the right side of the chest, the waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, the heel, the ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And now to the left side of the body, beginning with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And now to the back of the body with the heels, the back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and the entire spinal column, the back of the head, and the crown of the head. Moving around now to the face, beginning with the forehead, the right temple, the left temple, the right eyebrow, the left eyebrow, and the eyebrow center, the right eye, the left eye, the right cheek, the left cheek, the nose, the lips, the chin, the jaw, the throat, the collarbones, right and then left, and the pit of the throat, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, and the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, and the whole body. Have a sense now, all at once, the whole body. Bring the awareness now back to the natural breath. Natural breath now, very subtle. Observe the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural breath. We'll now add a visualization to the natural breath. When you inhale, visualize golden light entering your body, golden healing light. And when you exhale, release anything that does not serve you, whether it may be pain, illness, even dark thoughts. Let them go. Inhale golden, energetic, healing light. Exhale anything that does not serve you. And if the mind begins to wander, use the breath like an anchor and bring it back to the practice of inhaling golden healing light, exhaling anything that does not serve you. Release the breath visualization now and feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body is feeling colder and colder. The body feels as though it's outside on an icy winter's day. The wind is so cold, it makes your eyes water and it makes your cheeks sting. The fingers are numb, the toes are numb, and your nose runs because it's so cold. The body's feeling colder and colder, like it's outside on an icy winter's day. Release this feeling of coldness now and replace it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels as though it's sitting in front of a roaring fire. Heat radiates from the abdomen throughout the body. The face feels hotter and the hands and the feet feel clammy because they're so hot. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, like it's sitting in front of a roaring fire. Release this feeling of heat now and replace it instead with a feeling of heaviness. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The body feels so heavy, it feels like it's made out of concrete. The legs and the arms feel heavier. The torso and the head feels heavier. And the body feels so heavy that it feels like it's pressing against the floor. The body is feeling heavier and heavier. Release this feeling of heaviness now and exchange it instead for a feeling of lightness. The body feels so light that it feels like it's barely touching the floor. The arms and the legs feel lighter, and the torso and the head feels lighter. The body feels so light that it feels like it's barely touching the floor and that it might drift off like a cloud at any second. The body is feeling lighter and lighter. And release this feeling of lightness now. Allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. Release all of these sensations completely. And instead come to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize, and create the following objects and images. You leave the room that you are in, and as you go outside, you notice that you're actually on the outskirts of a forest. There's a path in front of you, and there is no one around. You feel safe and curious. So you begin to follow the path into the forest. Your feet are bare, and though it is a coolish day, you feel the warm earth beneath your feet. You smell the smell of gum trees and pine trees, and it feels like the smell of when it's just about to rain. Birds chirp beautifully around you as you keep walking through the forest, and you notice sunlight dappling through different tops of the trees. So it looks like almost like there's a mirror ball of light surrounding you, but it's just the sunlight poking through different parts of the tall trees that surround you. The wind gets a little bit heavier, and as this happens, you see leaves shaking from the trees above you, and they are just full of different autumnal colors. You see orange leaves, red, even crimson and brown and purple leaves, like a rainbow of leaves showering down all over you. And you notice that this is just such a beautiful moment as you notice the beautiful colors of the leaves with the sun dappling through the trees. And once the leaves have fallen, a sun shower begins, and you decide to take cover under one of these big, beautiful trees as you watch, like jewels coming from above, big raindrops like diamonds shining as the sun shines through these beautiful raindrops and they fall around you onto the ground. And again, you just feel joyous and peaceful and grateful that you get to see this beautiful natural sight. And now the rain stops. The leaves have stopped falling as well. And it's safe now to go back out onto the path and walk back now towards the room that you are in, thanking the forest and thanking the sun, thanking the rain for this beautiful moment. You come back into the room and lie back down on your mat. Cover yourself with your clothing and your blanket if you have one. Relaxing now in Shavasana on your mat. You call to mind your Sankalpa, positive intention if you have one, the same as the beginning of the practice. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And again, if you don't have one, leave some space, for it may emerge on its own. Begin to feel the breath again in the body. Allow the breath to deepen just a little. And as you do, observe the movement that the breath makes in the body. Feel the back move against the floor from the inhalation. Observe now how you are feeling in your body at this very moment. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. So begin to remember the details of the room that you are in. Remember the color of your mat and the color of your clothing, the color of your blanket if you have one, the color of the walls and the floor. And remember the time of day. Begin to hear the sounds around you and remember the world attached to those sounds. Gently move the fingers and the toes to allow your body to gently externalize and move and stretch in a way that's right for you. You may like to gently move your head from side to side just a little and roll onto the right side for a few moments, allowing the body to gently externalize with the practice of Yoga Nidra coming to a close. And then when it's right for you, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, come up into a comfortable sitting position, trying to maintain the peaceful state that you have created within yourself. And now in a comfortable sitting position, gently move the awareness up through the body like we did at the beginning of the class, beginning with the soles of the feet and observing how you feel now compared to how you felt at the beginning of the class, bringing the awareness up through the ankles, up into the shins and the calves, and now into the knees, bringing the awareness up into the thighs, into the buttocks, up through the arms and the hands, into the shoulders, bringing the awareness now up through the torso, paying careful attention to each vertebrae in the spine. And bringing the awareness now up into the back of the head and around to the face. And resting the awareness now at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame illuminating the darkness. And together now we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude the practice. Breathing in. Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.